Well, hello. Hope everyone is having a good day. Good to see you all back here on Open Pagan Church. Discord is open. Looks like we've only got Cindy on Discord this morning. I think Clint fried his power supply. Bless his heart. Good morning. Looks like we got Lee in live chat and a couple others watching in the ghost in the abyss that don't actually show up on the counter. Alright, let's just dive right on in, shall we?
Yes, of course.
So, be careful what you ask for. Why? Well, everything has a cost. Whether it's working, not working, doing magic, not doing magic, even doing nothing has a cost. So in the backs of our minds, all of us, I am sure, at one point or another, were told by a parental figure, if you will, when we were younger, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. Well, I've always taught my students the same thing, especially in magic. Pagans, we live for, believe in, and most of us do practice magical energy in one shape, form, or another. We go to altar, we cast. Christians pray. Praying and casting is the same damn thing. It's an asking for the manipulation of energy. And we have to be careful how we word things.
Very careful because of the what is it, cause and effect?
Yeah.
Manipulation?
Absolutely. Cause and effect. And the funny part of it is my microphone even working in Facebook?
Let me see.
Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be.
It is.
Alright. Well, the mic meter is not jumping like it should be, or I would think. Loud and clear, she says. Alright then. So, why do we have to be careful what we ask for? Well, let's think about it. Let's bring up some examples, right?
Ooh, I have one.
Go for it.
Alright, cause and effect. Well, just recently, my father-in-law passed away. Well, about a couple weeks ago, we were talking about their health and stuff, and we kind of went, okay, my father-in-law was doing ill, getting worse, so we asked the gods to, take him quickly if he needs to go and not let him suffer.
Okay, I can see that. As pagans, we would do that. Not just as shamans or witches or druids or whatever, but those of us that are connected to spirit, We don't want to see a loved one suffer. But be careful what you ask for. I'm looking for a more fundamental idea. And I think,
Like someone casting in anger, like, okay, you made me suffer too much, let him, something like that. So karma.
I'm not even talking about karma. I'm talking about just the fundamental question. So let's think about it this way. You look up the cosmos. You look up at whatever deity that you may call to, and you say, I need money and I need it now. Okay. But how that money comes to you may not be the way you thought you wanted it to come to you. When, right? Debbie, you got a good one?
Yep, I heard that.
Debbie says you say you want a new car. You end up in a serious crash, get a new car, but you've also got broken bones, that kind of thing. Yes. Absolutely. You want money, but a loved one dies to get you that money. You want time off of work, so you end up getting sicker than a dog and getting time off of work. Or in worst case scenario, you lose the job. Now, most especially over the last 3 years, I have been very careful what I say about my job. Because at almost 58 years old, the last thing I want to do is lose my job. So I am very careful what I say to the cosmos about my job. In the aspect, well, let's think about this. In the aspect of what you ask for. Well, it's in the wording, I've always believed. The difference of, unless you, well, money. We could all use a bit more. But in the asking for help to pay bills, assistance in needing health care, and assistance of needing new teeth, or, well, teeth, period. I've always said I could really use the help in getting new teeth. I don't want harm to come to another to make it so. And I don't want any negative ill effect on anyone else so that I can get new teeth. So I've always kind of put that disclaimer in there, if you will, so as to say, if harm has to come to another for me to get new teeth, it's not worth it. If harm has to come to another for me to have the money to pay for new teeth, it's not worth it. So in the processes of being careful what you ask for, it's not so much the what, but the how. And humans are spontaneous creatures. We are reactionary to the core. When things happen, as they do in life, and as the world turns, as it does in life, humans tend to be very momentarily reactionary without a whole lot of thought as to what we're saying, what we're doing, or how we're saying it. In my own admittance, I'm one of the world's worst about opening my mouth and putting both feet in it.
Don't we all?
Well, there you go.
That's like Paul in his anger moments does dragon magic. And he's like, I'll take consequences.
Yeah, well, see, herein lies the thing. Are we really sure we want to pay those consequences? Hi, Amy. Glad you could join us. One of the things I do want to remind everyone is we do simulcast on discordapps.com. Cindy posted a non-expiring invite, and there is a non-expiring invite in the header every week. If you want to join us verbally and you want to be heard, you have an opinion that you would like to speak on the topic and you don't want to have to type, by all means, check the app, fill out the wee little thing that you join Discord, and come on over to the server and join us up. But in the same aspect, and having been here way too many times, when it comes to asking for things from the cosmos, I am a firm believer in sitting down and thinking about how I want to word something. Of course, nowadays, because of my shaking, I don't write a damn thing unless I absolutely have to. But I'll sit down to a Word document and I'll type some things in, something kind of exactly the way I want to say it. And then I'll go outside, or I'll sit in my chair and get quiet and get within myself and send that energy out to the cosmos so that it's worded correctly.
That's like Leah posted. She learned the cosmos is very literal. Like I don't ask for a mate. It's not specified. I had to be single first.
Yeah. Yeah. Stipulate they need to be single. Well, Lee, I mean, in case, you know, unless you're into polyamory.
Yeah, polyamory.
Then it doesn't make any difference if they're single or not. Shut up, Don. Yes, Amy says it's all in the details. Detail. And let me tell you, the cosmos is a stickler for freaking details. Something about the cosmos, it won't sometimes I feel like I'm sitting in a court of law talking to a panel of judges, and all those judges are sitting there waiting on me to make a mistake. Like, sense of humor much?
Council does have humor.
Oh boy. So, what are some of the things that you guys, you in the chat and Discord, what are some of the things you may have done in the past? I know Lee already posted one of his. But what are some of the things that you've done in the past that you're like, boy, I worded that wrong?
Oh boy. Um, Went to council, asked for help for someone's health to get better, and you have to take the health of the arm and cost.
So the payment then you're saying was your own health, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. I mean, like, for example, I'm going to word this very carefully because I don't want to step off into this snake pit of, oh shit. In America right now, at the time of this video in January 2010, our political system is in a blender of crap. So one of the things I have been very careful to do is how I ask for the political system to be fixed in America. Because I know the options we have. I know the options we have in this country. And those options are not a whole lot better than what we have at the present moment. It's enough to drive you crazy. I agree with Cindy. Let's move to Scotland. Although the UK Prime Minister, bless his heart, is not a whole lot better than what we have at the moment. I think a couple of people in the UK would probably agree with that. But when we're, you know, getting back to it, it's that, what are you asking for? You know, here's the thing that I always I've always wondered if people really actually know what they're asking for. Lee said I had asked for a prosperous farm and was blessed with an overwhelming amount of animals which require a lot of time and care for. Yeah, well, a farm does come with animals, generally. I mean, there are farms that only harvest goods, but harvesting and planting, knowing all too well myself, having been raised on a ranch where we planted a lot of our own food, it's 24/7. It is non-stop. There is no taking a day off, so to speak. There really isn't. So if we think about how to ask the question, how to ask for a favor of the gods, or, and you know, I'm the same way if I ask a favor of a family member or a good friend, I think first about how am I going to ask? What is the vocabulary that I'm going to use? What's the verbiage that I'm going to use in asking this question? Because I may know what I'm looking for. I may know the answer I'm looking for. I may know exactly what it is I'm looking for, but damned if I know how to explain it. And the interesting part is, the older I get, the harder I find it to be able to vocalize exactly what it is I'm asking for. And in conjunction to most, I'm not old at 58, or upcoming 58, 21st of this month. But man, I keep trying to tell my body, you're not as old as you feel. And body says, yeah, I am. But if we're, and I think careful might be the wrong word. And you know, I got thinking about it after we posted that notice for the topic for today. I think careful is the wrong word. I think the phrase is be aware, be conscious, be mindful. Because it's like we said, it's all in how you put it. And
well, careful what you ask for is just more context, more, sorry for my noise.
What was that?
Okay, you said careful what you ask for. That is a general way of putting it.
Yeah, but you know, nowadays the word careful, I mean, used to, we would tell somebody, be careful coming home, or be careful going on a trip, or the word careful has come to be more of a fearful term, I think. Lee says maybe be specific. Yes, be specific in what you ask for. And, you know, damn disclaimers. I hate disclaimers. But the world we live in today, you are required to give disclaimers. Like when we do Live with the Shaman, at the beginning of the Live with the Shaman program, every show, every single solitary video I do where I might use rough language, I have to put in the phrase, we are an adult group and we do use adult language. I have to put that at the beginning of every broadcast. Because if I don't, and I use any offensive words in there, believe it or not, I can lose my account with Facebook and with YouTube because somebody files offensive wording in the video. Here in Open Pagan Church, so notice we don't have that disclaimer, I am very careful the words I use and very careful how I word things because we want this to be a family-oriented broadcast. We want people to be able to listen and interact with our broadcast with their kids around. But even in that, we are specific in what we ask for. We are careful in what we cast for, if you will. So why do we have to be so damn careful? I mean, really, why do we have to be so careful or so mindful or so specific when we are praying, casting, asking for something? Why is that? And I have a specific reason for asking this question, and I'll voice it in a minute. But why do you think that is?
You have to be specific in some things because of the reaction on what you get.
The cost. Cost, cause and effect. Action versus reaction. Reaction puts forth cause and effect. Cause and effect breeds action and reaction. It'll come back and bite you in the butt, Lee says. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay.
Boy, can it.
Yeah, but here's a paradox. Right?
What's it called? What comes around pushes in?
Say what?
I can't remember that saying. What comes around?
What comes around goes around.
Yeah, that's it.
But here's a paradox, right? I know, well, by the number counter, we have 2 live in the chat. So there's 3 of us here right now. And the people that will watch the pre-recorded broadcast, I would hope later, understand that when you're casting magic, and I know for a fact my students, I have always taught them that the words you use that are put into a candle, right, don't always match what's in your heart. In deity, gods, goddesses, council, guides, whatever, they're going to pick up what's in your heart. Now here's the paradox. If deity is going to pick up what's in your heart, if I'm asking for something, why can't deity or the cosmos or whatever pick up what's in my heart and understand what the hell I'm talking about? Therein lies your paradox. The old guy sitting here telling you, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. And then we say it's all in how you ask for it. And then we say deity picks up what's in your heart, not what comes out of your mouth. Kind of reminds me of when I was a kid, and Mama always told me, do as I say, don't do as I do. And the hell of it is, I find myself doing that with my own daughter. Do as I say, don't do as I do. So is it paradoxical statement to be careful what you ask for? I don't think so. I've seen it too many times in my years in this lifetime to be careful what you ask for. And then as I got into my 20s and probably early 30s, I started learning, be careful how you word what you ask for. I would have to believe that they want you to know yourself and be able to express it correctly. Thank you, Lee. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it comes down to another lesson that we should always learn. Like Lee says, know yourself. More importantly, I think, and right up there with, words have power. And a lot of people very quickly lose the aspect and the reality of words have power. We're in a global meltdown right now of social networks. And of course, everything you say, or type, if you will, on the internet, whether it's on Facebook, on Twitter, whether you post a video on YouTube or on Facebook, what you say and how you say it can come back to haunt you. Looks like Clint's trying to pop in there.
Yeah, it ain't working right.
Well, we could hear you, but it sounds like you've got some echo feedback going on there.
Yeah, I'm on my phone and in the car.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
So herein lies what we were talking about. What? Go ahead, Clint.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
So is there any way you can get away from the echo?
No, I'm going to go ahead and just sign on and off. I'll watch it later.
All right, dude. Be careful out there.
Bye-bye.
Poor Clint.
They're right. Bless his heart. He's trying to reply and listen on the road. That could be dangerous, especially driving where I know he's driving.
Yep.
So anyway, where I was going with that is, like Lee says, deity wants you to know yourself. But they also need to realize that words have power. And when you're texting back and forth on these wonderful devices, when you're texting, messaging, what have you, that typically comes across in black and white. It's just words. Well, I've often wondered, does deity not hear or see the same thing when we ask for something? They see the heart. They see or hear the words. And as a lesson, no matter how old we are, we're learning lessons. As a lesson, they tell us, make sure what is coming out of your mouth is what is held in your heart. And for myself,
You got that right.
go ahead.
That's like we were asking for help in the household because me and Paul's health's going bad and the boys work. So we asked for a little help in our polyamorous way, but it didn't work out that way. We got the dog.
Okay, you cut out the last part. You said it didn't work out that way. You got what?
Nicole.
Yeah, but I think Nicole was a good addition to the family.
Definitely. It helped totally.
Right. And, you know, just over 2 years ago now, we knew that we were going to have to find another place to live. We could no longer afford the rent in the place we were living. And my parents came to us and said, we're going to have some help with the household finances now that your mother has retired, meaning my biological mother. So we sit down and we're like, there's the answer. We move in with my mom and my stepmom. We help take care of them. We split the bills in the house accordingly. And it has actually saved all of us a boatload on finances. So it goes back to say, it's what's in your heart, it's how you say it, the words that you use, it's what's in your heart when you say it. And you know, one of the things, and it's going to be interesting to see how many people miss this last statement here, because we'll be drawn to a close here pretty quick. But I think one of the things that I want to put out there is the final statement. When you're asking for something and you're doing it silently, you're thinking it and you're allowing that thought to melt back into the spirit. Is the silent thought actually, truly, what you wanted it to be? This is why I try to vocalize, cast questions to spirit, help from spirit, help from deity, putting things out to the cosmos, as it were. I think it. I talk about it to myself. Yep, verbally talk about it to myself, because I want to hear the words that are going to come out of my mouth before I try to just throw them out there. And in doing that, like Lee says, you get to know yourself better, and you hear what you're going to think and what you're going to send to the cosmos. Well, I hope that come out right. Not completely. Well, okay, It's like this. If I have thought about something that I really feel like I need to go to deity for, I never ask deity to help me make it through another day at work. I mean, that's my responsibility. That's up to me. That's on me to get through the day at work. I do ask deity to give me the right words to say, the right phrases to use, and the right communication basis on each of these topics before we go live for a broadcast. But I will mumble that, I will vocalize that, I will verbally speak that, because I want to hear that thought, to be sure that thought makes sense. Because I assure you, there have been thoughts in my head that once they are vocalized make absolutely no freaking sense whatsoever. It's like you think it, you say it, and it's out there and you can't bring it back. But if you're talking it over to yourself before you send it, then you know whether or not it sounds right. And that comes from having done public speaking a lot, psychic fairs, psychic health fairs, speaking in different seminars and what have you. I get in my mind what I want to say, and about 10 minutes before I go public, I'll go to a mirror and I'll kind of vocalize out, looking at myself, I'll kind of vocalize out what it is I want to say. Now granted, the exact words may change, but I know the idea. I know the self and the idea and where it's coming from. Does that kind of help make it make sense?
Yes.
Anybody else? I know we've got about a 15-second lag, so. So, did anybody else have anything we want to go over with this topic? Careful what you ask for. Yep, great. Hey. Well, with that being said, we've already got topics laid out for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think, and we'll be communicating hopefully to get some more topics laid out. I don't want this year to be like last year, where I'm having to scramble for a topic on Friday or Saturday when I've been brain dead all week at work. So, PM me if you've got ideas. I could absolutely use them. So, think about what you're asking for before you ask for it. If it helps, vocalize to yourself. If it works for you, talk to yourself. There's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. Hell, I've been doing it as long as I can remember. Just be aware of what you're asking for. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Open Pagan Church. We look forward to your questions, your thoughts, your comments, your likes, your dislikes, your ideas, or whatever. And we'll see you next week, right here on Open Pagan Church.